Hello everybody, I'm here today to do the Unpopular Opinions book tag. This was created by the book Archer, I believe. I will link to her page below. But I was tagged by Corny Ferriter. So thank you, Corny, for tagging me. And let's go into the questions. So the first question is a popular book or series that you didn't like. And I think that it's not exactly that I didn't like, but I read the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin about a year ago when we were moving to this house, and I was really stressed out, and I think that was not a good idea because I didn't get it. It was too much complexity and information and things left unsaid, and I was just really confused throughout. And I don't know if it was the wrong moment or it's just that I didn't like all the extra confusion, but yeah, I didn't like this book as much as everybody else seems to have liked it. I might try, I know that she has a short story collection, I think, and I might try that, and she also has some new books out that sound more up my street, so I might try some of those because I think that her style of writing was good, but it was just too complex for me. I couldn't get what was going on half of the time. So the 5th season. Second question is a popular book or series that you love that everyone seems to hate. For this question, I'm going to say The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Now, I haven't read this in like 15 years or so, but I read it as a teenager and I really enjoyed it. I know it's not high literature or anything, but I found it really fun. I don't know what I would think about it now if I read it, but I quite like that one. And it seems that it doesn't have the best reviews, probably because it has been a while and it's one of those things, like Twilight or whatever. I never read Twilight, but it's one of those things. The third question is a love triangle where the main character ended up with someone you didn't want them to. And this is not exactly a love triangle that I didn't like who was the final person, but I just didn't like the love triangle in general, and that was Celeste from An American Marriage. So this book follows this couple that is just married, and then he goes to jail for a crime he didn't commit, and then Celeste, the wife, goes back and forth between him and a longtime friend from childhood. And to be honest, I just hated this book in general, and I can rant about it forever, but I just felt like she was described many times as this really independent, really self-aware, really intelligent woman, but at the end, that love triangle was her just doing whatever people told her. So then the husband said, no, come back to me, and she was like, oh yeah, okay, and she went back, and then the childhood friend told her, no, I think you should be better with me, and she was like, oh okay, and she goes back to there, and then her dad tells her, no, but you should be with this other person, and she's like, oh okay, and then she follows, and I just didn't see the point, basically. So yeah, I hated that one and that the triangle and the book in general. A popular book genre that you hardly ever reach for, and I think that's probably romance, although I also don't read crime a lot, but it's not that I think book snob romance is too trashy for me. I just find it boring because it's normally the same story, you know where it's going. I tend to like books that make me think, and romances are just enjoyable books, and I don't read as much for pure enjoyment. I love trash romances and things like that on TV, but on books it just doesn't work for me. So yeah. The fifth question is a popular beloved character you do not like. And I don't know if this is a beloved character, it's more of a love it or hate it character, and I hated him. And that's Holden from The Catcher in the Rye. He was just so obnoxious and so full of himself. And in principle, the book is supposed to reflect how teenagers are, but I don't remember ever being like that. So I just found him really obnoxious. I didn't like him, and I couldn't find it relatable at all. So yeah. The sixth question is a popular author you just can't get into. And for me, it's a set of authors, I guess, and that is the Brontes. I'm not sure I have read some Emily Bronte. I think I have read, but I don't remember what I read. But I read Wuthering Heights, I read The Tenant of Wildfeld, and I think I also read Jenner. And they're just okay. I didn't find them particularly insightful in any way. And that tends to happen to me with classics sometimes. But yeah, this didn't work for me, any of the sisters, so I'm not sure I will be picking up any Brontes in the near future. But yeah, sorry if you like it. I'm happy you like them, but I don't. The seventh question is a popular book trope you are tired of seeing. And I think that there was a time in literary fiction, I think it's past a bit now, but this small town, nature, community kind of stories, very philosophical and very pretentious sometimes, I just not into. I want to read about things that are relevant in the world today, and although small towns can be relevant, often these stories are just about they are too airy and too full of nothing at the end. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but that small town community trope, it's not the one, it's not my favorite, let's say. And the eighth question is a popular series you have no interest in reading. And I have actually read I think the first book on that series, and that is the Narnia books. I read, I think last year, The Witch in the Wardrobe, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, I think. And it was nothing special to me. It's obviously not aged the best as well, but apart from that, it just doesn't have any nostalgia to me. And as an adult reading that book, I was like, yeah, I definitely don't want to read any more of that. So that's that. The ninth question is, the book is always better than the movie, they say. Which film or TV adaptation do you prefer more than the book? And I think this is a fairly standard answer, actually. It's The Lord of the Rings by Tolkien. And I read the books when I was a teenager, and they are very long. And I think the movies did a great job into translating all of that world, which of course the books are dry and long because they have all this amazing world building, but reading about it can be very can drag a little bit, and it's a lot easier to put that on a movie, and I think the movie did an amazing job at doing that. So I will say The Lord of the Rings. And the last question is just to tag some people. So I will tag Lauren from Reading with Macar. I tag Sim from Sim Reads, Michaela from Michaela Reads, and Kieran from KD Books. If you have not done this tag and want to do it, you are tagged. And of course, if you also want to do it, if you have a channel, feel free. But yeah, that was all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, bye.